Hello everybody and welcome back to MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, where we are currently ready to depart. We need to continue with our mission for the Davians here. Commander, I've tried contacting both the COC and the Fusiliers to alert them to our plight, but since their impending invasion of Sarna is considered top secret, their entire unit is operating under a communications blackout until they secure Sarna. But by that time it could be too late for us. We will need to dispatch you to Sarna on your own. Your mission will be to link up with the 5th Certus Fusiliers Combat Commander, General Gordon Hartstone, or the Battle Mech Regiment Commander, Colonel Anthony Harkness, and deliver this paragraphed message from myself, explaining our situation. Once you've made contact with them, your objective on Sarna is to find the location of Sarna's Maskarovka headquarters and demolish it, before they can decrypt the 3rd Crucis's codebooks. See if General Hartstone or Colonel Harkness can spare some forces to support you once you've made contact. Unfortunately, due to Sarna's distance through hostile space and with jump ship availability being in short supply, the best we could muster for you is a route that will take over 3 months before you arrive at Sarna, and another 16 days traveling from the jump point to the planet itself. By the time you touch down, it will be almost a month after the Fusiliers have initiated their invasion of the planet. If everything goes well, by the time you reach Sarna, they should already have a strong foothold established in system. They won't. They're going to be doing very badly. I'm pretty certain about that. Commander, until you make contact with the Fusiliers, you'll be on your own with no support. So I need to ask, are you absolutely sure you have all of your mechs and equipment queued for refits during your journey? I have no idea what the situation on Sarna will look like by the time you arrive, so be extra sure that you've collected all needed provisions prior to departing. Godspeed, Commander. Contact me immediately once your objective is complete. Okay, so this is a good opportunity for us to go through some of these mechs and do some proper refits on them. We've kind of been not doing that, and this seems like a good time to do it. So let's just go through all of these somewhat quickly here. Let's see, the Awesome looks pretty okay. I'm not too concerned about that loadout. This Javelin, I mean, it's a Javelin. It's fine. We've got the Marauder here. This is a PPCX variant. This Marauder, absolutely A-okay. No issue there. The Centurion here. This is a large laser LRM-10 variant. I would kind of like... Ooh, I just noticed we have an ER PPC. That's fancy. I'd kind of like to drop these LRM ammos and drop the LRM-10. I'd like to replace this actually with an SRM. I think this mech is better suited for that sort of engagement. Do we have SRM Artemis ammo? I don't know. Let's find out. We could probably fit that SRM plus Artemis here. We do have 3 tons of SRM Artemis ammo, so this should be absolutely fine. 2 tons of SRM Artemis ammo, and then the SRM 6 plus Artemis 4, like that. Plus, we can max the armor, although it is maxed. So we could have an additional ton of something here. I'm going to move a couple of these heat sinks down to this leg, I think. And I'm going to move one up to the head. We don't have any hard points. We could maybe upgrade this small laser to a medium laser. Or a medium pulse laser. There's no way we can get that tonnage, right? Yeah, that's not going to happen. So that would be a medium laser then, which would be up over here. Alternatively, we could put in a hand slot. Oh, does that not fit in a small energy slot? I guess not. Okay, so that has to remain a small laser then, or a flamer. I'm going to go with the small laser. And then we've got this medium hand slot over here. So we could definitely fit in these medium knuckles. That's actually fine. And then we're just 0.7 tons below. Okay, let's get started on that. That'll take 21 days. Next up is this Irby, and this is an AZ-10 Irby variant. Okay, let's move this heatsink up to here, move the AZ-10 ammo to the leg. I would like to update this to the AZ-20 variant of the Irby, but we do not have that, and options are very, very limited with the Irby, so we'll just move that AZ-10 ammo, and we'll call that good. Okay, this Warhammer is probably fine. I don't think there's any major concern there. This Locust, there's only so much you can do with a Locust, right? I'm not too concerned about that one. Hunchback, this is an AC-10 variant of the Hunchback. So that is noted. I think we'll probably largely leave this as it is. I think that's fine. The Charger is, of course, being worked on. Then we've got the Hatchetman here. The main issue with the Hatchetman is this. AC-10 ammo stored in the CT. So we're going to drop the jump jets class 4. That'll save us some tonnage. And I'm going to move the AC-10 ammo down into this leg, both in the same leg there for now. Oh, wait, we can't do that, can we? Because these are just jump jet slots. That's awkward. Then in that case, I think we want the AC-10 ammo, like, out in the left arm. It's a little exposed out here, but if it explodes, it'll take stuff out over this way, where we don't actually care about it. And we can move these two heat sinks into the CT, where they'll be a little bit safer. So it'd be something like that, and then we'd max out this armor, like so. Okay, so that's fine for now. Then we've got this archer. The archer is kind of all over the place with the SRMs and LRMs. I would kind of like to unify it. Just pick one. Do we want LRMs or do we want SRMs? I want to specialize that. So let's drop the 2 tons of SRM ammo, and let's think about what going to LRMs would look like in terms of tonnage. So we've got 8 tons available here. And if we were to do that, we would need like LRM 5s, I feel like. So we've got this LRM 5 here. That weighs 2 tons. And we've got 2 small slots available. So we do an LRM 5 here and an LRM 5 here, for example. Then we would need 2 additional tons of LRM ammo. Like that. And then we'd have 2 tons to work with for this medium missile slot. I'd like to also upgrade these LRM 10s, ideally. Is this a medium missile slot? It is. We can't fit an LRM 15 into that or an LRM 20. So an LRM 10 is the best we can do there. If we were to put an LRM 10 here, that would put us 3 tons overweight. Okay. So how would we like to handle that? Well, we could drop a couple of these medium lasers, keep the 2 medium pulse lasers, but drop the medium lasers overall. Something like that. And yeah, you can see this is down in firepower. That's not surprising. We're trading range. So this is going to be very effective at range, but we're still 1 ton over here. We could drop 1 ton of LRM ammo. Take these both down to like half tons or something like that. That would be an option. Or we could just say we'll just have 1 ton of LRM ammo here like this. That's a theoretical possibility. We have an SRM... Oh, we have an SRM 6 over here. I did not notice that. Okay, so with that being there, we could theoretically put in an additional LRM 10. I don't know about this tonnage-wise. I didn't notice that SRM, but yeah, we could definitely theoretically put in an additional LRM 10 out over here. That puts us at 72, and I'd absolutely love to have this extra LRM ammo. No, I don't want to purchase it. I want to equip it. There we go. So this puts us 4 tons over, right? And how do we want to handle that? Well, we could downgrade these 2 LRMs, or one of this, or like this one. We could downgrade this to an LRM 5. I think that's our best bet at this point. So we would have this be like an LRM 5 stream here, and it would go in something like that. So we'll go ahead and start work on that. This is very, very focused. Weapon missing for ammo types. Oh, we have Streak SRM ammo up here. That can get changed over to additional LRM ammo. This is very much an LRM boat, and that sounds good. So every salvo, we're going to be spitting out 45 missiles. Plus, we've got the 2 medium pulse lasers, which, I mean, they're not great at range. I'd prefer that this was running like large lasers or something, but we don't have the tonnage for that. Let's just go ahead and get that going for now. Now, Jaeger. Okay, so the main problem with a Jaeger mech is it's really, really lightly armored. And this is because it's not intended to be in close fighting, right? But I would definitely like to change this around a little bit. So how would we like to go about doing this? This is already very, very minimal. It's because of the 4 autocannons. I'm thinking about what about if we replaced it with Gausses. That would essentially make this the same as the rifleman that we've got. I think that's not a great idea. What size of slot is this? That's a medium slot? Okay. That definitely makes things a little bit awkward. No doubt about that. So we can put a medium laser in here. That's okay. We can replace this with an upgraded medium laser as well, as long as we're at it. But the main issue here is a distinct lack of armor. That's for sure. We could drop the AC2s. I'm not generally a big fan of AC2s, and just run the AC5s. So that would be something like this. And that would give us enough mass to max out this armor. That's a lot more armor. We would still have another roughly 5 tons to work with. So I'm thinking, what if we included machine guns here and here? And this is still apparently up in firepower. I mean, it's not so great in the range, but sure. And then we'd need machine gun ammo, right? So that would be somewhere in here. Yeah, we've got this. So 1 ton of machine gun ammo is probably enough. And then we've still got 4 tons to work with. So what would we like to do here? Well, we could definitely think about upgrading the AC5s. Okay, we don't really have much for AC5s available. We do have 4 tons that we can work with here. Hardpoints are minimal. And we would need, at best, a medium energy weapon. We could upgrade our medium lasers to medium pulse lasers. That's a theoretical option. And then we could toss in a couple of heat sinks. So medium pulse lasers like this. And then we could get in 1 heat sink and then like half a ton of ammo, but we'd have to dip in a little bit into the armor. So we could slot in a single heat sink in the CT here, like that. And then as far as the ammo goes, we could do another like half ton of AC5 ammo or machine gun ammo. I don't know if we have a half ton of either of those available. Uncheck valid only, please. So we'd look at, say, machine gun half ammo here. So it would be something kind of like that. Now you can see we're slightly overweight, and we can just strip our armor, remax our armor like that. And that'll just remove a tiny amount of armor. It looks like 1 point in each leg. Okay, so that will be fine. That'll boost the Jaeger a little bit. Its cooling is going to be slightly better. Its armor is going to be way better. And its firepower is slightly improved as well, at least when it's in close. This is more of a, like, brawling Jaeger mech, which is a weird thing to say, but that is definitely what that is. Okay, so we've got this Com-1B Commando. So this guy is a large laser variant, and I think this is largely fine. We might be interested in potentially upgrading, like, that SRM-2 to a better variant like this one. So that would mean doing something kind of like that. This large laser, we could potentially upgrade as well. Although, I'm not sure I want to do that, as I think about it. I'm not sure this mech is the mech to put that in. Okay. Does the large chem laser require ammo in this game? I'm not sure. That's interesting. I'm going to put this large laser in. We'll leave the SRM-2, but otherwise, that'll do for now. Okay, so next up would be this Thunderbolt. And this is where I really want to start, like, digging in and making some big changes. So the Thunderbolt has the dual machine guns, right? I would like to definitely upgrade those in terms of their quality, if we have such a thing. We do have some higher quality machine guns. Okay, we'll take those out, and we're going to put in these level 4 machine guns. Something like that. That's going to be a boost of its damage. Then we've got this set up where this Thunderbolt is in a weird position, where it's got the SRM-2 here with SRM ammo here. And then it's got this LRM-15 with 2 tons of ammo. I'm going to take out the LRM-15, and I'm going to take out the SRM-2 stream as well. I'm going to move these 2 heat sinks into the CT, and then these legs, well, we can move these 2 heat sinks into the torsos. I'm going to move this SRM ammo down into this leg. And I want to think about, maybe we would put in some hand slots here. Oh, this machine gun ammo should get moved as well. We could put in some hand slots here potentially, but I'm interested in getting some missile weapons going here. Specifically, I want to put an SRM-4 here, and then I want to make this large missile slot. This is actually going to be a medium, but I'm going to put in an SRM-6 there. So you can see this boosts the firepower, lowers the range. That's fine. So now what I want to do is I want to put in an extra ton of SRM ammo to compensate for that. So it'll be something along the lines of that. And then we've got 4 tons. We can max the armor. Okay. And now we've got like 3.5 tons. Something along those lines. We have no valid weapons for a medium hand slot. That's unfortunate. I suppose we could see if there are any in the store. There are not. Okay. So what do we want to do as far as 4 additional tons for this goes? Well, 3.5 additional tons. Well, there are a couple of options for sure. We've got this large laser, which I'd kind of like to upgrade to this large laser. And then we could potentially think about tossing on additional heat sinks. Or upgrading these medium lasers to medium pulse lasers and putting on heat sinks. That's an interesting idea, actually. So medium pulse lasers go in, and then we could maybe have just 1 medium pulse laser. The rest of these could be medium lasers. Like that. Then we could put in an extra set of heat sinks. So that would be like this guy, and then we would put in this over here, something like that. Then we have about half a ton to work with. So I would like to get a machine gun half ammo, which we know was in the market. There we go. And we can put that here. Now that puts us very slightly overweight. As before, we can just do that. Okay, so that is across the board a boost to this Thunderbolt. It's more armor, more firepower, more heat, and more max range, remarkably. So we'll go ahead and start work on that. And next we've got this Assassin. Okay, this is probably reasonably set up, although it's missing an engine heatsink. We'll just do that. And then I want to get rid of the jump jets on it. There we go. And let's max out that armor. So that gives us approximately half a ton to work with. I think the weaponry on this is pretty decent as it is. So we could certainly consider putting on an extra heatsink. We've got those medium pulse lasers. So an extra heatsink could go into the CT or the head. Either of those would be reasonably fine. That is going to mean that we are a little overweight. We'll need to do that. So we're not quite maxed on the armor, but it's definitely an improvement. We'll go ahead and queue that. Now we've got this Marauder next. So this Marauder is definitely not set up in quite the same way. Let's go ahead and strip all of its weapons here. I'm going to leave the heat sinks for the moment. Let's max that armor right now, and then we'll mess with that a little later on. So we could have an ER PPC up in this slot up here. That would be like a sniper slot. And then down here, we could have a pair of PPC X's. So that would be something like this. Now that's already overweight. We could downgrade these PPC X's to be large lasers and have this be like a sniper variant of the Marauder, where we have a close-in Marauder and then a sniper variant. That's not a terrible idea, actually. That's a bit of diversification. Ooh, that's a large pulse laser. I didn't realize we had that. Noted, but that's not what we're after here. So we're going to put a large laser in here and then over here. This is still going to be too much weight, I think. No, actually, that works. Interesting. This heat isn't too bad. And then we'd be able to put in, like, medium lasers in these medium energy slots, although this is going to put us overweight here. So that puts us a decent amount overweight. We strip the armor and max the armor. Being down a little bit in the armor here is not that big of a concern, because this is a sniper variant, right? We're not going to be getting in close, in theory. So we can do something like that. Okay, next up, we've got this Jenner. This is probably not going to be too much that we're going to do to it. I generally like Jenner loadouts. We could take off the jump jets and max out that armor. That's fine. Okay, so next up would be the Trebuchet. And what is this set up as? Yeah, this is probably largely fine. I'm going to move the LRM ammo down to the legs to be in a slightly safer location, but otherwise, I'm just going to leave this be. So that looks good. And then we've got the Cataphract. Cataphracts are a weird beast. So we've got this PPCX here. We've got dual medium lasers, the AC-5. We've got the electronic warfare systems over here. And I'm looking at the heat sinks, and I'm thinking, is there anything here that I really would want to change? I don't know. Cataphracts are just kind of weird, but they're not terrible. So I think we're going to leave that where it's at. Now there's this sniper rifleman, which is hilarious, and we're leaving it exactly the way it is. I love it. Next up is this Panther, and I think the Panther should remain as it is largely as well. We can get rid of the jump jets and bulk up that armor a little bit. That leaves us about half a ton to work with. So we could put in a half ton of SRM ammo in theory. And it would be like that. And we'd be a little underweight, but it's not too bad. Okay, I don't like where the SRM ammo is there, but we don't really have a choice. So then we've got this Blackjack, and this is an AC2 variant of the Blackjack. Okay, let's ditch the jump jets for sure, and let's max out the armor. This is not terrible here. We'll just leave it be for now. That'll be okay. It's technically a little bit underweight. We could put in like a half ton of AC2 ammo, actually. Do we have a half ton of AC2 ammo? I'm not sure we do. Here's a half ton of AC2 ammo. Fantastic. So we can buy it, and that would be fine. So we would put that in the CT. If the CT is exploding, we have other issues. Okay, now we've got this Thunderbolt, which this is very much in the same vein as the previous Thunderbolt. I'm going to upgrade one of these to a medium pulse laser, assuming we have one. We may not. Okay, we're going to upgrade these to level 4 medium laser set. Ditch the LRM-15. We're going to ditch the LRM ammo, like that. And we're going to make this be SRMs. So we're going to have this be an SRM-6 in this large missile slot. And then in the small missile slot, an SRM-4. I don't want to purchase that market item. Hang on, up here. There we go. We've got SRM-4s. So that's fine. Now we can put in some SRM ammo, and we can max this armor as well. So SRM ammo would go here, and then we would do an additional SRM ammo. And then we've got a fair amount of weight to work with here. I wouldn't mind upgrading this large laser, maybe even to a large pulse laser, because of the amount of tonnage that we've got available. So we could do something like that. And then we can put in an additional half ton of machine gun ammo, like this. Like that. So that's just a firepower increase. It reduces the max range because we're going to SRMs instead of LRMs, but I generally prefer that with something like a Thunderbolt. Okay, next up would be the Zeus. And let's see what we've got here. This loadout is odd. I'm going to move a heatsink up over here and a heatsink up over here. LRM ammo and AC-5 ammo, like that. I wouldn't mind dropping the AC-5. This is really going to be more of an in-close brawler, which means we drop the LRM-15, we drop the AC-5, and what I'd like to do here, ideally, and this may require some significant compromise, but what I'd like to do here is I'd like to put in an AC-20 in this ballistic slot. No, that isn't possible. That's a medium ballistic slot. Okay, so in that case, an AC-10 is the best we could do. So we would go to an AC-10 here, and then we would need AC-10 ammo. How many rounds of ammo is this? 40 rounds? That's probably sufficient. Then we've got the large laser, medium laser combo, and then we can do SRMs here. So this would be an SRM-6. And then, of course, we would need some SRM ammo for that. 1 or 2 tons. 1 is probably sufficient. So something like this. But I'd still like to strip the armor and max it. So I'm going to take out the AC-10 first. Let's strip the armor and max that and see what our tonnage looks like with an AC-10. Okay, so we're about 4 tons overweight. That's understood. We could bring this back down to the AC-5. That's a theoretical possibility. So like an AC-5 rapid fire. No, I don't want to purchase that. I think we have one. Yes, we do. We could also go to like the light rifle. or even this AC2. But what I really want to do here is, like, these are not great AC5s, but something along the lines of that, right? And then we would do AC5 ammo, which we do have. That would go right there like that. Then we would strip and max the armor, and we just lose 0.3 tons of armor. Something like this. Now, this is down a little bit in the firepower, way up in the armor. This is intended to be, like, basically, it's intended to be a close-in brawler that is going to be kind of juggernauty. Okay, then we've got this final cataphract. Again, cataphracts are strange. I'm going to move this heatsink here and here. We're going to move the AC-10 ammo down to this leg for sure. And I'd like to drop the PPC there and replace that with a PPC-X. I generally prefer PPC-Xs in this game, even though they only exist in this game, as far as I'm aware. So that is interesting. That'll boost our firepower right there. And we could maybe think about what we would want to do in terms of armor, but the armor is pretty okay on this as it is. I mean, 352 is not amazing. Let's drop the AC-10, max this armor, and put the AC-10 back and see where that puts us. 3 tons. Okay. This cataphract is going to be kind of awkward no matter how we slice it. Let's drop the AC-10 down to an AC-5. And that'll give us a lot of tonnage to work with. So we can do that, and then we can put in... We don't have any additional AC-5 ammo. We have UAC-5 ammo. Do we have a UAC-5? No. A UAC-5 would be pretty good, but we don't have one. So we're going to have to buy some AC-5 ammo from the market, which is not available. No, it is. Never mind. Okay, I'm going to buy 2 tons of AC-5 ammo here, and we're going to put that in here. I'm going to move this heatsink over to here, and we're going to do like that. 69.93 looks good. Okay, so that is all of our mechs that we want to be refitting. So we're now ready to do this travel. Let's go ahead and depart. And we might get a cutscene here, actually.
Sarna, capital system of the Sarna commonality, and one of the jewels of the Capellan Confederation. For centuries, Sarna had been a beacon of industry and technological sophistication, once housing large populous cities across all of its continents, feeding a healthy commercial manufacturing industry. But, like the rest of the Inner Sphere, the succession wars brought death and destruction to Sarna. Today, although it's only a shadow of its former self, it remains an important world. Its aerospace and dropship manufacturing centres, combined with its centralised location in Capellan space, have made it a prime target for the Federated Sun's ongoing invasion of the Confederation. House Davion has charged the elite 5th Certis Fusiliers with taking Sarna. In order to complete our mission, we will first need to make contact with their commanding officers, General Gordon Hartstone and Colonel Anthony Harkness. But something seems to be wrong. Although we jumped into the system 7 days ago, I have not yet been able to hail anyone on the wideband Federated Sun's command channel. I'm getting nothing but silence every time I try. Even more disturbing, the local news is reporting that the Fusiliers have attacked and destroyed Sarna's HPG relay station, which has cut the system out of contact with the rest of the Inner Sphere, spreading panic among Sarna's populace. Our mission to recover the stolen MEO codebooks is far too important for us to abandon. Whatever the odds, we must make contact with the 5th Certis Fusiliers and request their assistance in finding and destroying the stolen codebooks. Otherwise, the entire security of Operation Rat could be compromised. Let's just hope we're not too late.
Well, that doesn't sound good. But also, if the HPG was destroyed, then that might mean that they never received it. The code books, I mean. And they have no way to transmit the decoded codes. So that's not a bad thing there. Interesting. Well, we will investigate the SOS claiming to be the 5th Certis Fusiliers in the next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy McGar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Hiro Marutsu, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.